Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode number 108 of the Debt Free Dad podcast. So today we are changing some things up, and we are going to be doing our very first reaction episode here on the Debt Free Dad podcast. And you might be asking, what is a reaction episode? We're going to be telling you about that here shortly. But today we're going to be reacting and watching Cracked, Why Credit Cards Are a Scam. This is going to be really, really good and really interesting. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Debt Free Dad podcast, where we're helping normal, everyday people learn how to save money and kick debt so they can live a happier and stress-free life. Now here's your host, Debt Free Dad, Brad Nelson.
Hey, how's everyone doing today? You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, and Instagram. Just search Brad Nelson, Debt Free Dad. And as always, welcome to today's show. And remember to get all the resources, show notes, and links for today's show, including the reaction video that we are about to share with you. Head over to balancencents.com/108. That's BALANCEDCENTS.com/108 to get all of the links, show notes, and information from today's podcast episode. So when we were going through and kind of thinking about some of the things that we wanted to do here in 2022, in fact, Ryan, I think, you had brought up this idea, I think it was like early of 2021, talking about doing some of these reaction type videos. And if you've never seen a reaction video on YouTube, it's essentially where people will watch a video and react to it. I mean, is that generally speaking what it is, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
The reason why we wanted to do this, is on the show, we're always talking about, the marketing of debt, how debt has become just so normal, and really to kind of prove that and to prove this mentality of why it's, why is it so hard to, believe that financial freedom is a real thing. What we wanted to do is find some examples of this out in the world. All right. We wanted to look at possibly like email offers and debt offers that we get in the mail. These could be commercials. Like today's is more of a funny spoof on credit cards. And we wanted to share these examples just to show you guys how kind of normal debt has become and really sometimes the humor and really the absurdity of it, all of it as well. Sometimes it's so easy. We get so used to hearing these advertisements and these debt products and all this stuff out there. It just becomes so normal. Like you don't even really stop to think about how silly some of this stuff really is until you really start picking some of it apart. So what we want to do is take some of these episodes and really pull some of these things apart. Like we got some great content that's going to be coming that we're going to pull apart here over the upcoming year. And we're not going to do these every show. We're just going to, we're going to probably do once a month, maybe, once every few months and just give you guys something different to think about, some of the topics and things that we're talking about on this show. So are you guys ready to go?
I am ready.
All right. So to kick it off, like I said, today we're going to be reacting to Cracked, Why Credit Cards Are a Scam, which again is a spoof commercial about credit cards. So let's go ahead and share the video.
Want to have money without having money? Want to go to stores and get things because you want them? Then use my Horton card. It's reliable, it's no fuss, it's a fancy plastic IOU card that will have you swimming in debt for the rest of your and your offspring's life. And to make sure...
Wait a second. I like the very first line of this. Do you want to have money when you don't have money?
Right. And I like the follow-up. Do you want to go to the store and buy something because you want them? Not because you need them or because it makes sense. Just like I want something, so I should buy it.
So funny. By the way, I should warn you guys, I'm a laugher, so don't be surprised.
It's going to be hard not to laugh through this whole thing.
If I laugh through this whole entire thing. All right, let's go back to it. Hold on. All right.
you feel comfortable with spending money you don't have, we'll use this comedian to make you feel like it's no big thing.
I'm from that TV show that's doing reasonably well, so I've got a sense of humor about spending money on stuff I don't need. Just charge.
Oh my God, guys! So we got some of our reaction videos have celebrities in them. Just what they just said. getting that, TV personality or that movie star, right? To sell you the credit card. Love that. That's such a great take.
I love the one with Kevin Hart. Yeah, I think he's like in one of the credit card commercials, and he goes in and he's like, I'll have one of those. And then he buying one of everything because he's going to get the points.
Yeah.
And I always walk away. I mean, I totally remember being that like, oh, I'm going to get the points. I'm going to get the points. But then like reality, now that I'm on the other side, it's like, I'm not Kevin Hart. Like I don't have Kevin Hart money. Like Kevin Hart could buy one of everything in the store and he's going to pay that bill off. No problem. Like I'm not him.
Yeah. But again, there's that, that social influence that we always talk about, and having that iconic star of Kevin Hart. He's funny, right? Makes a joke out of it, makes it lighthearted, right? It's such great marketing. It works. And this is why they do it. It really does work. I just love that they called it out so early right here. All right, let's go back to it.
Whatever. It doesn't really matter to me because I'm mostly excited to get cash back.
Relatable.
I know.
Why use gross paper covered with pictures of dead guys when you can use my square piece of dinosaur carcass with numbers on it? In fact, nowadays, you have to have a square of recycled soda bottle because how else would you even be able to purchase your online subscription to watching what used to be free? Or paying for an expensive education that won't lead to a job. Really, any financial milestone. That's right. To get a roof over your head, you need to earn credit, which is really just showing you own a little square that you have to pay off continually. Somehow that's what makes you trustworthy and shows you're good with money. We've made it impossible to live without our plastic numbers swiper. We're putting chips in some of them now. Look at that. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Also a pain in the ass? You can't even use these everywhere. You can use it in some places that pay me to accept your card. Otherwise, you can just use money, which is what people who are taking your money would prefer. I'm an expensive middleman who's charging everyone extra for using my plastic cutout. Also, you'll probably need a different swipey swiper when my card doesn't work.
So, hey, pause it for a second. I think that's like a good point, and I mean, there's nothing like society is so hooked on debt and credit, but all the prices of our goods are influenced by, the cost of credit. The credit company's getting a cut of all of the payments and all of the sales that are happening. Like if you're putting it on credit, the cost of these items is directly influenced by the amount, the 2 or 3 or 4%, whatever percentage that credit card company is getting for you to use the charge card. Like, and even if you're not using credit cards, like I'm paying more for that product because everyone else is, I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people are using credit cards to pay for things, which, I mean, so I think just the idea of like just using credit and the economy and the people all using it, we have directly caused inflation by doing it because we're basically paying the company, just like he said, we're paying the company to use their card.
Yep, exactly. It's unbelievable how genius they are when it comes to all this. When credit cards first came out, most people are still using cash, but you look at where it is today and how slowly and steadily they changed the marketplace into basically a mostly a cashless society in the sense. And you've heard the saying, credit cards are the safest way for transactions, right? And even for businesses, if you go out and look at the merchant websites for these credit card companies who advertise their services to businesses like even mine, they even tout that, hey, your customers are likely to spend 12 to 18% more per transaction than if they used cash. You should take our card because people who use our card are spending more money. So even the credit card companies, and we have websites. I have one from MasterCard specifically that actually says it just like that, that advertises that people spend more money, and especially even when they use cardless payment options, so they're not even using a credit card. They're using like their phones or something else. They're even spending more on top of that. It's just so genius if you think about it, what the credit card companies have been able to do. I mean, they've essentially have made it almost impossible for people to live without them. Man, and then you wonder why it's so hard for people to kind of think like you can actually live without a credit card.
Right? Well, and a second ago, he's talking about how you have to have credit in order to get a house. You have to have credit.
Yeah.
And it simply isn't true.
Correct. Well, that all goes with this big lie that's being told out there, of this almighty credit score. Like that is the most important thing. And a credit card's going to be one of the things that's going to help you do it. And along with that, he mentions, that the credit card can help you finance any financial purchase that you want to make, right? Even college degrees where you can't get a job.
Yep.
But
There's a reason my kids all got credit card applications on or shortly after their 18th birthday.
Yep.
They've spent 18 years marketing to them, and they send them. They know they're going to college, and it's like, here, come on over and sign up. There's a reason they show up immediately.
Yep.
But in my first 3 months, I got a credit card in college. My first 3 months.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back in the day, and I think the laws have changed now. But I think, back in the day, these credit card companies were allowed on campus. They're allowed on, day one. They've got their tents, free T-shirts, free hats. Back in the day, free pizza, maybe. What college kid is going to turn that down? Yeah. All right, let's go back.
Place where another one does work. Is it harder to keep track of how much you're spending when you don't physically see the presidentially decorated paper strips leaving your hands? We're counting on it.
Okay. Bingo, right? That's exactly what we're just talking about that, right? It is just, you don't even understand how much money you're spending when you don't even see that money going across. Like it is proven. They've proven it by studies that you don't even recognize it as real money that you're spending when you use credit cards.
And a very easy thing that anybody can do that's listening, and we realized this very early on, is take $100 and go grocery shopping, $100 in cash and go grocery shopping. And then don't do that and see how much more you buy. Because I know for sure 100%, and I'm an impulse shopper. When we started using cash, it was really hard to impulse shop. But when I used a card, I seen a commercial for those. Put those in the cart. Ooh, those look good. Put that in the cart. And suddenly you walk out with 50% more stuff than what I was originally going in for.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And it is all because, credit. Yep. It's never ending.
When we encourage you to go paperless, we'll say it's for the environment, but it's really because we know if we send you emails of the charges you made, you'll only skim the email if you're reading them at all.
Again, something as simple as you think about that. As a consumer, I never even thought about that until I just heard it. It's like, that's genius. They're absolutely right. Like, who really, some people probably do, but the majority of people probably maybe, like he said, skim that email, if not even read it at all. And they do it all behind this, we're saving the environment and making it more convenient for you.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
Where it gets fun for me and exclusively no one else. We made it so the longer it takes for you to be able to pay us back on time, the more money you'll rack up in interest, and the harder it'll be to pay off. And doesn't that sound like it should be illegal? It's not. It's interest. Interest is a random percentage we charge you because you made charges. This is going to get pretty technical and pretty crimey, so let's look at a graph. If you're the average American credit card holder, then you owe more than $10,000 in debt. Let's say your interest rate is 24.99%, and you're paying off just the minimum because times are tough, or, because times are normal. That means that in 10 years, you'll have paid more than $26,000 and still owe over $11,000 more, and that's just 10 years. After 50 years, you'll have paid $165,729 and still owe more than $17,000. So you will always owe me money, but the more you use our card, the more worthless things we'll give you. All right. Yes, let's hear it for stuff. Or even better than stuff, cash back, which is just a tiny portion of money that you'll use to pay off the debt. But of course, you'll never see actual money. The more you charge, the more cash back we give you. It's like you're digging a hole, and we throw in a handful of dirt to help you get out of the hole, but only after you dig 5 feet deeper. If you're worried you might not be able to pay off this credit card, we'll encourage you to get another card to pay off that one, and then another to pay off that one. The more credit cards, the more you have.
Oh my gosh! Like that.
There was so much in that last 60 seconds.
And I was the king of we were the king of consolidating of, like, oh, there's I can transfer it to this card and I'll transfer it to that card. So for me, 100% relate. Just the marketing of it is like, oh, we're really hurting and we, this payment's hard. Oh, they're going to give us 0% for 12 months. Let's move it over there.
Yeah, right.
You just don't and it all comes from this helping mentality, right? Everything that they've marketed, none of it's like, hey, it's not marketed to you in a way that's, seems like they're giving you a bad deal. It's all marketed
right.
And, oh, we're here to help. We're here. We'll give you 0%. Mm-hmm. We'll do all this.
Well, the marketing is even so good. It almost makes you feel foolish that you're not participating in it, because who wouldn't want points and rewards? Who wouldn't want 1, 2, or 3% cash back on the purchases you're already going to make anyways, right? In fact, there's been people who have said, Brad, you're crazy that you pass up on those points and rewards. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, I'm not the crazy one.
Right. Well, and here's the deal. This is the one and this is the one pushback I always get, right? You always have people who are like, I pay my credit card off every month. I use the points. I get this, I get that. Great. I'm not going to argue with you. There are a small percentage of people that do that and it works.
Right.
But the largest percent of people like me and probably like all of us, that was always my intent. Like, I'm going to charge this trip and we're going to get $58 back by charging this trip. And I'm going to pay it off in next month. And then 3 years later, I'm still paying it off. And that's what they're banking on. That's this whole thing that he's talking about. That's what they're counting on, is that you are not going to do the right thing.
That's exactly what they're willing. And again, for the small percentage of people who do, they're willing to take a loss on those people. They're willing to take a loss on the people who are going to do it right, because they know the overall majority of people are going to do it wrong. Right. The house wins. The house is going to win, right?
and I fully admit I do use a credit card. And when I had talked to my company not that long ago, they said, "Oh, like you pay this every month?" Like the person on the phone was shocked.
Yeah, it's pretty abnormal these days. But going back to the points and rewards, and I don't have, I should have pulled up the statistics for this show. I'll see if I can find it and put it in the show notes. But at one time I had read, from when it comes to points and rewards, they said a little bit over a third of those points and rewards, the people who use it, they end up not even using them all. They lose them because they just get wasted. And a lot of those points and rewards cards come with those annual fees every year. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, let's get back to the video.
The more you owe us. It's literally the same apparatus as a Ponzi scheme, but we tell you about it with a 300-page tiny printed booklet that you won't read. So get yourself a Horton Card credit card. Go ahead and swipe it through machines till you owe us billions. Oh, was that too harsh? Oh, here. Hey, Laugh Machine, make the people feel better with your jokey words.
Hey, so you guys ever notice how Katy Perry is...
You feel better already, right?
Katy Perry's basically just Zooey Deschanel, but gassier. So.
I'm Roger, by the way.
Such a good video. And again, I think, it's humorous, it's funny, but it's funny because it's true. I think that's the funniest part about it. I think, people who are probably watching that are probably like, ugh, right? Like, I know, like, if I was in credit card debt watching that, it's like, yikes, right? That's a little bit of a wake-up call.
Oh, that brought my feelings back to credit card debt. I was like, oh, that was me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the, as you're listening to this, like, we're not here laughing. We're laughing because it was all us, right? Yeah. Right? For me, not 100%. All that, everything he's talking about, I was totally bought into it. I was bought into the points, the restructuring our debt, everything he talked about, the celebrities. It's how it's been marketed. It's to the point where, and I've said this a lot on this podcast, but to the point where when my brother Brad wanted to get out of debt, just like a lot of people, you call him crazy because you spent your entire life and your parents have spent potentially their lives marketed like this to you. And so you can't think any other way except debt.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that was a great show, guys. I love doing these reaction videos. We're going to do some more of these coming up, so hope you guys enjoyed that. And again, I think this is going to get even better as we go along, as we bring in some real commercials and really kind of pick these apart for you guys and show you what's happening exactly in these commercials, why we've become to believe this stuff is so normal, and having those real life examples here, I think is going to hopefully help that light bulb go off a little bit sooner for some of those listeners out there.
Hey, if you love planners, this is for you. But you know why planners frustrate me? Because they only really get it half right. Now, sure, they're really good and fancy about helping you manage your time, which is really important, obviously. That's what a planner's for. But where they get it wrong is money, the second most valuable resource in our lives. Most planners don't include any financial planning, things like, keeping track of paydays, bills, due dates, spending, yearly expenses, budgets, cash flow planning, debt elimination plans, and goal planning, right? None of that stuff. That's a real pain. And then what? Then you got to create your own in some silly binder, right? And who has time for all of that stuff? So instead, what happens? Nothing, right? A lot of people tend to ignore their finances even more, and things only get worse. Well, that all ends today because I am so excited to announce and release my brand new, totally awesome Debt Freedom Planner. This thing's awesome, by the way. Now, before you say, Brad, I've already got a planner. This is not an ordinary day planner. This is the Debt Freedom Planner, which is a companion tool that works with your day planner, and it's built to help you manage your money, pay off more debt, and melt away financial stress. And I believe this is the tool that a lot of people who want to take control of their finances have been waiting for. So head on over to therealdebtfreedad.com, click on the Debt Freedom Planner in the menu to get access to your planner today.
Hey, what's this I see? I thought this was a party! Let's dance!
All right. That sound means it's time for the celebrations of the show. And by the way, guys, if you would like a link to that video that we just watched, if you want to listen to that in full once again, just head over to balancesense.com/108. That's BALANCEDCENTS/108. We'll have the YouTube link in there, and you can check that out. It's about 5 minutes long if you want to watch it without the breaks of us giving some reactions to that. But great video. Today in the celebrations, we're kicking it off with Sharon Hershey. Sharon says, I'm taking myself way out of my comfort zone, and I accepted a new job with much better compensation and an environment that is better for my mental sanity. Sharon, that is a huge win. And this is one of those wins that is related to your finances because obviously it's how you make money, obviously, is through your employment. But this is one of those wins where we talked about, in our latest podcast episode of, expenses of being broke. When you get out of debt and you take control of your finances and you get yourself in a much better place, you earn back the opportunity of making better decisions all around your life. And your job is one of those. And Sharon, that's a huge win for you. So congratulations.
Heather Vincent, life has been pretty crazy the last couple of weeks. I got a promotion at work, more hours and more pay. I have 2 jobs plus training for promotion. This morning, I paid my credit card off and paid my parents the last $1,000 that I owed them.
That is incredible, Heather. Congratulations. Big wins.
Lauren Baird, I made my final student loan payment. I'm debt free now.
Unbelievable. That is a huge, huge win. Congratulations to you, Lauren. Absolutely fantastic. And I'm sure, especially paying off your student loans, but to reach debt freedom, there's no better feeling. So huge congratulations to you. Carrie Shannon, payroll got screwed up this week, so I had to take out the emergency fund to cover it. Thankfully, I had my fund almost finished, so when they straighten payroll out, I can pay back my emergency fund. She says, thanks to Roots and thanks to Brad, I'm not freaking out right now. And that is one of the silver linings of that emergency fund. I know when I was working for a small business prior to opening up this business, there were some times, where payroll got missed. And I remember employees in the office being nervous, and sometimes even the owner would have to come in and give them money to get them through until the paycheck would hit because they forgot to pay us. And it felt good not to have to be in that position to worry. And that's really a great thing. That's another reason to have that emergency fund savings in place. So great win, Carrie.
Lisa Stesko, still eating every meal at home and consistently adding to sinking funds and savings outside of payments.
Awesome, Lisa. Great wins.
Mary Yearling, I am getting a new furnace and air conditioner, and I paid in cash, no financing.
Yeah,
nice.
That is awesome. Huge congratulations to you, Mary. And huge congratulations to all of you guys who are working your way out of debt and reducing financial stress. And remember to get all the resources, show notes, and links for today. Head over to balancesense.com/108.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us here today. We love your feedback, and it also helps us grow our YouTube show. So please give us a like or leave us some honest feedback on this video. And if you want the latest from the show, obviously be sure to hit that notification bell and subscribe to our channel. And for the latest resources, or if you want more information on how to kick debt and financial stress, please be sure to check out the links in this video or head over to therealdebtfreedad.com. We'll see you guys on an upcoming show. Take care.